Hello and welcome to another video on learning to drive with Gary Phillips. Today we're going to look at approaching and turning right from a major to a minor road. And if you've seen the other video on approaching and turning left, you'll know that a major road is the one that's got priority. The minor roads are the side roads that come off one. So first of all, we're going to be checking the mirrors, as we always do. Interior mirror first, and then the right mirror, because we're turning right this time. So the interior mirror is going to give us a true picture of how close things are behind, and the right mirror to see if anything's going to be perhaps overtaking us. Could be a motorbike overtaking you. If there is, then you wouldn't want to signal too early because it would confuse that motorcyclist and they might get a bit frightened thinking you're going to move out straight away. Even if your intention wasn't to do that, they might think that. So we delay the signal if somebody is overtaking us. The next thing is the signal. And as well as thinking about what's happening behind us in relation to the timing of the signal, we also need to think about other roads that may be before the one that we're going to take, so that it's not confusing or misleading. So the timing of the signal is important. We then take the position. So this time we're going to move across to what we'd call the left of centre position. So there's the centre line and we're just to the left of that centre line. You'd need to be as close to that as is safe. And what that means is sometimes it wouldn't be safe to get as close to the centre line as normal, because there may be an obstruction on the right hand side here which would cause the road to be too narrow for oncoming traffic to get through if you took up that position. So sometimes you would maintain a position that was a little bit further away from the centre line depending on what hazard you got on the right, but usually if it's clear you would be as close to that centre line as you could without going over it. That also gives chance for traffic that might be wanting to carry straight on to go on the inside of you. And it's legal for them to do that. If you're signalling right, they can undertake you on the left. So position is important on turning right. Then we've got speed, and just like for turning left, if it's clear, we're going to be using second gear speed generally, and in second gear we'd have the clutch fully up so that we're not coasting around the corner, because that will be freewheeling again and you'd lose control of the car. It could speed up quite a lot on you. So second gear generally if it's going to be clear. We then look into the junction and make sure that we can see if there's any pedestrians waiting to cross or already crossing, if there are any obstructions in the road, anything that might cause us a problem before we turn in. If there are any problems there, then we wouldn't start the turn, we'd wait here. And this position is what we call the point of turn, with our front end in line with the centre of the road that we're going to turn into. I will look at that in a bit more detail on another video, which is called crossing traffic. So there's your point of turn. If it's all clear, you would turn in from there, turn into your normal driving position, and once you're in the new road, go through the MSM routine again, which will be checking your mirrors, interior and right this time, to see if anybody's going to overtake you. Cancel the signal if it's not already gone off, and then make progress in the new road. Another thing to consider is the traffic that could be approaching you. So as you're coming down towards your junction, you'll be looking ahead and looking for oncoming traffic. You need to give way to that traffic. So if you can't turn across safely without making that car stop, slow, swerve, then you would have to wait at your point of turn. If you think you've got enough time to walk across this road before that car runs you over, then you would have enough time to drive across. So as you're arriving at your point of turn, double check what's happening ahead. If you've got time to walk across from here to there, then you would have time to drive in front of that vehicle. But we mustn't make any other vehicles stop, slow or swerve. You can make that decision as you're approaching. So if it's clear, we'd be getting into second gear as we said before. If it isn't clear, then you don't need to bother with second. Whatever gear you're in, you would just stop in that gear and slip it into first as you were stopping, so that you're ready to move off again in first when you did get a gap. The other thing to think about is not cutting a corner. If you were to turn from here, for example, and turn too early, you would cut across this corner, and that would be dangerous because you wouldn't be able to see what was happening in the new road. You wouldn't know if anybody was coming down that road towards you, and as you turned in, they might be coming down and there'd be a collision. So always make sure that you get to your point of turn before you turn in so that you don't cut across this corner. Now that's about all for approaching and turning right. I hope that's been helpful and look forward to seeing you again soon.